recording our player rankings videos. I'm recording another player today to run next week. But what I would like to do is take a second to talk about what's going on with the Los Angeles Lakers, as we got a bunch of drama over the course of the last several weeks between the surprise sale from Mark Walter to...
The Lakers dynasty is crumbling before our very eyes. The supposed surprise sale from Mark Walter to Bob Iger and Josh Kushner has spiraled into an all-out family war. The very foundation of the Lakers' ownership, a legacy built by Dr. Jeanie Buss, is now being torn apart by his own children. And what they just said proves exactly why Jeanie Buss's claim of loyalty to her father's vision is a complete sham.
Allow Jeanie Buss to remain as governor of the team for now, right? That was what happened when we initially got the press release about the sale. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's this thing called the tagalong provision. So from what I understand, and again, I'm not a legal expert, but the gist of what the tagalong provision entails.
But here's what makes this even crazier. Bob Iger and Josh Kushner initially announced Jeanie Buss would remain governor. Yet almost immediately, this tag-along provision surfaces, allowing the other siblings to essentially force a sale. This isn't just about money. This is a calculated move. A final power play by Jeanie's siblings to reclaim what they believe was unfairly taken. And it escalates even further when you realize what this means for Jeanie herself. %
owner in order for her to do so. So this effectively kicks Jeanie Buss out of the governorship.
And that's not even the worst part. The legal requirement states Jeanie Buss must own at least 15% to remain governor. If her siblings successfully sell their shares through this tag-along provision, it effectively kicks Jeanie Buss out of the governorship entirely. This isn't just a slight. This is a public dethroning. Imagine being Jeanie, the self-proclaimed torchbearer of her father's legacy, only to have your own family orchestrate your downfall. The drama doesn't stop there.
As we know, if you've paid attention to any of the reporting over the years, Jeanie Buss has basically methodically kicked every single one of her siblings out of the family business. What originally happened with Jim Buss, and then obviously with Joey and Jesse recently, like Joey and Jesse were a rare bright spot in the Lakers front office in the last decade. Now, there was also some reporting that they had been kind of...
This isn't an isolated incident. Jeanie Buss has methodically, almost ruthlessly, purged her siblings from the family business over the years. Jim Buss, then Joey and Jesse, who, let's be honest, with a rare glimmers of hope in the Lakers front office during the last decade, all pushed out. This pattern suggests a deeper, more sinister agenda at play. It's not just about leadership. It's about absolute control, and that control comes at a steep price for the franchise itself.
And Jeanie Buss herself, but they were positive contributors to this era of Lakers basketball, and they got fired. They got fired after the Mark Walter sale. And one of the most common things you'll hear when you talk to people who are connected to the Lakers is just that the Lakers just had a lot of different figureheads that were all kind of pushing in different directions.
And the impact of this internal strife isn't just felt in the Buss family mansion. It reverberates throughout the entire organization. When you hear from people connected to the Lakers, the consistent complaint is a lack of united vision. Too many figureheads, all pulling in different directions, leading to a dysfunctional front office. This constant infighting wasn't just bad optics, it actively sabotaged the team's ability to make cohesive, winning decisions. But there's a surprising counter-argument that throws a wrench into this whole narrative.
There was a court order that said any sort of sale of those shares had to be unanimous consent of those three trustees. So as long as, it doesn't matter if it's 5-1, if Jeanie Buss as one of those three trustees votes no, that kills the deal, right? So that's her kind of counter position here, and now it's all to be taking.
Now, most people hear that and think Jeanie is dead to rights. But watch what happens next. Jeanie Buss and her lawyers quickly countered, citing a 2017 court order. This order stipulates that any sale of those trust shares requires the unanimous consent of the three primary trustees, and Jeanie is one of them. So even if it's 5-1 against her, her single no vote could legally kill the deal. This introduces a major legal battle, delaying any resolution. And it flips the entire argument on its head, because it shows Jeanie still has a significant card to play.
Jeanie and her siblings once again. Jeanie trying to stop the sale of that 17%, the 5 siblings trying to complete the sale, in which case that would remove Jeanie from the governorship and give the all those shares.
This isn't just family drama. It's a high-stakes legal war. Jeanie is fighting to block the sale of that 17%, effectively trying to preserve her governorship. On the other side, her 5 siblings are pushing to complete the sale, knowing it would remove Jeanie and consolidate power with the Iger Kushner group. This isn't a quick fix. This is going to drag out in court, creating an immense distraction for an organization that desperately needs stability. But this constant infighting, regardless of the legal outcome, points to a fundamental flaw in the Lakers' current leadership structure.
I would argue the entire family dynamic wasn't good for the Lakers in this last era of Lakers basketball.
I would argue the entire family dynamic has been detrimental to the Lakers in this last era. We see the jokes. It's like real-life Succession. And while it's entertaining for us, it's a disaster for running a multi-billion-dollar basketball franchise. The chaos, the infighting, the lack of a united front, it has bled into every aspect of the organization, from player acquisition to staff retention. This isn't just about loyalty to Dr. Buss's vision anymore. It's about acknowledging when that vision has become a liability, and the data from the past few seasons makes this glaringly obvious.
To run a basketball team. The idea of Jeanie screwing over all of her siblings and then her siblings finally getting get back, God, that's good television. But it's not actually what's good for the Lakers. Similarly, when you would talk to anybody who was connected to the Lakers,
the idea of Jeanie screwing over her siblings and then finally getting payback makes for great TV, but it actively undermines the Lakers' operational efficiency. Multiple reports over the last few years have highlighted how this internal conflict led to missed opportunities, from strategic free agency blunders to the inexplicable departures of competent staff. The Lakers consistently operated without a cohesive strategy. This isn't just anecdotal, it's reflected in the team's inconsistent performance and inability to build a sustainable contender, even with LeBron James on the roster. What we're seeing is a direct consequence of this fractured leadership.
Fine. Regardless, because I do think that there's some truth to the fact that Jeanie Buss feels like she's doing the right thing. Her dad wanted it to stay in the family business. Jeanie Buss is trying to preserve that.
Jeanie Buss might genuinely believe she's doing the right thing, trying to preserve her father's dream of keeping the team in the family. However, this romanticized ideal often clashes with the harsh realities of running a modern, hyper-competitive NBA franchise. Dr. Buss's vision was about winning, about excellence. One has to wonder if you would approve of the current state of affairs where family feuds consistently overshadow strategic basketball decisions. This isn't a knock on Jeanie's intentions, but a critical look at the practical outcomes. And the impact extends beyond the family.
I think just like many of these sorts of situations, and we have a family business on my wife's side of the family. We've all seen it. If you've been around people that have family businesses or any sort of situation where there is a person, a mom or a dad who launched an endeavor and became successful and tried to pass it down to multiple children, it's almost always messy.
Family businesses, especially multi-generational ones, are almost always messy. The utopian idea of a seamless transition, generation after generation, rarely materializes. There are often competing egos, differing visions, and a natural dilution of the original founder's passion. What we're witnessing with the Buss family is a classic example of this complexity playing out on the global stage. The desire for power, the old grievances, and the sheer challenge of maintaining a cohesive unit under immense public pressure. This is not unique, but it highlights why traditional family ownership in sports is becoming increasingly unsustainable, and it begs the question, what is truly best for the Lakers?
The business in the family. But the bottom line is that idea, that motivation in practice is now has been butting heads with what is best for the Los Angeles Lakers as an organization.
Jeanie Buss's core motivation to keep the business in the family is now directly conflicting with what is best for the Los Angeles Lakers as an organization. This isn't about right or wrong in a personal sense. It's about the pragmatic needs of a professional sports franchise. The constant drama, the public legal battles, the internal discord, all of it creates an environment antithetical to sustained success. The Lakers aren't just a family heirloom. They're a multi-billion-dollar entity with a global fan base demanding championships. And that demands a professional, unified leadership. What this franchise needs right now is a reset.
The Lakers just sold for $12 billion. They're literally one of the largest, they're one of the most important sports franchises in the entire world.
The Lakers, one of the most important sports franchises in the entire world, are being run like a tragic comedy. Trevor from Lakers Collective hit the nail on the head. They were being run like Succession. It's astonishing that an organization worth $12 billion, with such a rich history and a demanding fan base, has allowed internal family squabbles to dictate its operational efficiency. This isn't just about optics, it's about competence, professionalism, and the very integrity of the franchise. This isn't just about Jeanie Buss, it's about the systemic issues that have plagued the Lakers for far too long.
Allowing Alex Caruso to walk, making decisions that left their front office thin and devoid of talent compared to other front offices around the league. Their staffing far below what you'd see elsewhere around the league.
The evidence of this dysfunctional leadership isn't just confined to ownership disputes. It's reflected in tangible basketball decisions. Allowing a player like Alex Caruso to walk, making moves that left the front office talent depleted compared to other elite organizations, and running a staffing model far below league standards. These aren't minor missteps. These are critical errors that directly impact team performance and championship contention. This isn't the standard for a $12 billion franchise. This is the direct result of a fractured leadership. And this is why Jeanie Buss's time as governor must end.
Jeanie Buss cannot be governor of the Lakers anymore. She is a representation of an era of Lakers basketball that needs to be forgotten.
Regardless of the legal battles, Jeanie Buss cannot be governor of the Lakers anymore. She has become a symbol of an era of Lakers basketball that desperately needs to be forgotten, an era defined by infighting, missed opportunities, and a glaring lack of a united front. While her loyalty to her father's wishes is understandable, the practical outcome is detrimental to the team's ability to compete. This isn't about personal grudges. It's about the future of the franchise. It's time for a clean break, a new chapter that prioritizes winning above all else.
What's best for the team anymore? If I was Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, and this situation rectified itself in court and Jeanie Buss won, and the tag-along provision was blocked, and the Buss Trust kept their shares of the team, I would go to Jeanie and I'd be like, listen.
If I were Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, and Jeanie Buss somehow won this court battle, I would still approach her. I would tell her, listen, we can't have this public spectacle at the forefront of our organization. This isn't just bad for the Buss family, it's bad for the Lakers brand, the players, and the fans. The writing is on the wall. Her governorship is ending anyway, whether now or 4 years down the line when Iger and Kushner take full control. It's time to recognize that sometimes moving on is the only path forward for the organization, and the timing couldn't be more critical for the team's on-court ambitions.
That's what I think needs to happen here. Like, sometimes it's just time to move on. And that's what time it is for the Lakers right now.
Sometimes it's just time to move on. And that's precisely where the Lakers are right now. This isn't a sentimental decision. It's a strategic imperative. The weight of this family drama is simply too heavy for a franchise trying to navigate a crucial transition period. With LeBron's era fading and Luka Doncic entering his prime, the Lakers need a laser-focused, stable leadership to maximize this window. Any further distraction from this ownership saga only jeopardizes their immediate championship aspirations. And this season is more important than anyone realizes.
This is all part of a very, very important season of Lakers basketball. You're moving on from the LeBron James era.
This isn't just a side story. This ownership drama is interwoven with a critical season for the Lakers. We're transitioning from the LeBron James era, with Luka Doncic now entering his late 20s. This isn't just a new player, it's the beginning of a crucial 3 to 4 year window, where Luka will be at his absolute peak. Every decision, every distraction, every ounce of internal friction will directly impact their ability to capitalize on this precious period. And right now, the roster isn't even championship ready, despite Luka's arrival.
Opportunity. And I'd argue there's still work that needs to be done. This team does not have a starting caliber 3. They have someone who can start at the 3 in Quentin Grimes, and 2 or 3 other guys who could spot start at the 3. They don't have anything even close to a starting caliber 4.
The team doesn't even have a starting caliber 3, let alone a power forward. Quentin Grimes can spot start, but that's hardly the robust talent needed for championship contention. There is significant work that needs to be done this summer to fill out this roster and truly surround Luka with the pieces he needs. The front office needs to be operating at peak efficiency, without the constant distraction of a public family feud. And this isn't about regular season success, it's about the ultimate goal. The stakes are incredibly high for the immediate future.
In order to compete for a championship, this team needs to finish the roster.
To truly compete for a championship, this team needs to finish its roster construction. They need stability, clarity, and a singular vision. And it's going to be incredibly difficult to achieve that while all this family drama and legal maneuvering is playing out publicly. This isn't just about optics. It's about tangible operational hurdles that prevent the Lakers from reaching their full potential. This is why getting Jeanie Buss out of the governorship isn't just an option. It's an absolute necessity. But if she refuses to step down, what then?
All right, welcome to Hoops Tonight here at the Volume Heavy Wednesday, everybody. Hope all of you guys are having an incredible week. Well, we're in the midst of recording our player rankings videos. I'm recording another player today.
Examining this key moment. All right. Well, good to Hoops Tonight here at the Volume Heavy Wednesday, everybody. Hope all of you guys are having an eye. This breakdown reveals crucial tactical insights.
Walter to Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, as well as the drama with with Jeanie Buss and all of her siblings, which I want to talk a little bit about. So just kind of instant reaction to the Lakers drama, and then we'll get out of here today. You guys know the drill. Before we get started, subscribe to the Hoops Tonight YouTube channel so you don't miss any more of our videos. We need about 6,000 more subs to get to our goal of 150,000.
Examining this key moment to Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, as well as the drama with Jeanie Buss and all of her siblings, which I won. This breakdown reveals crucial tactical insights.
We need about 6,000 more subs to get to our goal of 150,000. And if you haven't already subscribed, if you just took a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button, it would help us a lot. If you are already subscribed, like this video, sign up for post notifications. That helps us a lot. And then last but not least, again, if you want to get any sort of mailbag question in for our player rankings mailbags, drop them in the full episodes on YouTube underneath. Just write mailbag : write your question, anything you disagree with in the player rankings list. We'll get to them on Fridays.
Examining this key moment. And if you haven't already subscribed, if you just took a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button, it would. This breakdown reveals crucial tactical insights.
And Bob being more or less the leader of the franchise moving forward. But then we get sort of another weird twist to it, right? So Bob and Josh essentially announced that they're going to allow Jeanie Buss to remain as...
Examining this key moment, moving forward. But then we get sort of another weird twist here, right? So Bob, and Josh essentially announced. This breakdown reveals crucial tactical insights.
For the minority owners to kind of tag along in the sale so that they don't get left out in the inability to liquidate. Essentially, meaning like it'd be kind of unfair if the majority stakeholder got the opportunity.
Examining this key moment to kind of tag along in the sale so that they don't get left out in the inability to liquidate, essentially be meaning. This breakdown reveals crucial tactical insights.
And the 5 other Buss siblings, and I won't even attempt to try to list all of them by name right now, but the 5 other Buss siblings end up sending a letter to Jeanie Buss saying, hey, we want to get in on this tag-along provision.
Examining this key moment, Buss siblings, and I won't even attempt to try to list all of them by name right now, but the 5 other Buss siblings E. This breakdown reveals crucial tactical insights.
It was 2 different trusts. There was like the Dr. Buss's trust, and then there was the mom's trust, and the Dr. Buss's trust was what they originally sold to Mark Walter, but then there's the smaller trust, which is this 18% that they have. And to make a long story short, that's what they're actually focused on selling. But there are rules, right? So like Jeanie Buss wants to stay on as governor, but she has to be at minimum a 15%.
Examining this key moment, the father, the Dr. Buss's trust, and then there was the mom's trust. And the Dr. Buss's trust was what they org. This breakdown reveals crucial tactical insights.
We're all kind of pushing in different directions, and there wasn't any sort of like united front in decision making. And that's really the first point I want to make, because what came out later that day.
Examining this key moment, and there wasn't any sort of like united front in decision making. And that's really the first point I want to make. This breakdown reveals crucial tactical insights.